All right, y'all. So, welcome to our January 2021 General Body Meeting of NeuroEquity. It's so great to have like all of y'all here. It's been so long. I think our last meeting, Roxana, when was that? Like
Ooh,
September?
That's a great question. Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, it was a while ago. So we're gonna do some intros, and I'll kind of just go down the list if that's okay with y'all. And I apologize if I get any names mispronounced, but please correct me. So I'll start and then I'll go down the list. So I'm Deanna Reese White. I go by she, her, hers pronouns. I'm a fourth-year medical student at Dell Medical School at the University of Texas at Austin. I applied to neurology residencies. And I'm one of the co-directors of NeuroEquity. So Roxana, do you want to go ahead and go next?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us. As Diana mentioned, I'm one of the co-directors of NeuroEquity, and I am a MD PhD student in my 5th year of my program. So I'm hopefully defending my PhD this spring, and then I'll be going back to the hospital for my 3rd and 4th year rotations. And I'm at New York Medical College, which is in Westchester, New York, which is just north of the city. So down the my list, we have Asya. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
Or Asia?
Asia?
It's Asia.
Asia. Welcome.
Nice to meet you all. My name is Asia. I'm a 3rd-year medical student at Wright State Boonshoff School of Medicine. Currently, of course, planning on applying to neurology, and very active. I was like vice president of my student chapter of Sign at my school. So very much excited to just learn more about neuroequity and get involved as much as I can and help in any capacity.
Awesome, great to see you. Hassan?
Hey everyone, my name's Hassan. I'm a 2nd-year medical student at Lakeview College of Osteopathic Medicine, probably the only DO here. I'm in the 2nd year. I already finished my master's in minor research a couple years ago. Instead of doing dual, I decided to do it separately because I knew this was going to kill me as it is. I'm preparing for boards now. And I'll be rotating up in Buffalo, Niagara area. So moving from Boston to Erie, then all the way to New York again. So I'm sticking to the snow and the lake effect. Yeah, and obviously, hopefully planning to go neurology, hopefully stroke research as well, or academic medicine down the line, but that's a ways away.
Welcome, welcome. Jenny.
Hello, everyone. Good to see some of you guys again. My name is Jenny Abdul Kareem. I'm a freshly graduated med student, finished in December, thankfully. And I'm applying for neurology for this upcoming match. So I'm currently interviewing right now. As far as any involvement with NeuroEquity, I'm part of the research subcommittee, education subcommittee, and the mentorship subcommittee. So I'm very excited to be in this meeting with all of you guys. I'm currently in New Jersey right now, and I came from American University of the Caribbean in St. Martin. And yeah, glad to see you all.
It's good to see you again. Next on the list, Laurel.
Hi everyone, my name's Laurel. I'm an M3 at VCU, which is in Richmond, Virginia. I'm part of the mentorship committee. So I'm excited to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on today. And I start my neurology rotation finally on Monday. So I'm excited for that.
You're gonna love it, hopefully. Megan, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Oh, see if my video works. Hi, I'm Megan. I am an MD PhD student that's just back to clinical rotation, so I'm on the home stretch, thank God. I'm in Canada, in Newfoundland. So we've been watching your election from afar. It's quite the soap opera down there from up here. And yeah, so that's me. Oh, I run the funding subcommittee for NeuroEquity.
Awesome, Megan. Good to see you again as well. Phil.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name's Phil. I'm an M2 at the University of Louisville School of Medicine. So that's in Louisville, Kentucky. So like Cardinals, bourbon whiskey, Kentucky Derby, all that. As far as my involvement in NeuroEquity goes, I am one half of the Healthcare Policy and Advocacy Subcommittee. It's me and Stella. And I'm also one of the co-presidents of my sign chapter here.
Good to see you
And
again too. Oh,
yeah,
go
good to
ahead.
see you, Deanna. I was going to say, obviously, very interested in neurology, and assuming the clinicals go well, we'll be applying.
Fantastic. All right, Stella, do you want to go ahead and go next?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you guys, good to see you. I will not be sharing my camera just because I finished a workout. I'm very sweaty. It's not pretty, but it's so good to see y'all. I'm an M2 at New York Medical College, which is in Westchester, New York. And I'm living in White Plains right now. And like Phil said, we lead the healthcare policy subcommittee together. So excited to share a little bit about what we have going on later with everyone.
Good to hear your voice.
Sorry.
It's understandable. Priscilla.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay, perfect. So my name is Priscilla Hernandez. I just finished med school this past December in Instituto Tecnológico de Santo Domingo, is in Dominican Republic. So I'm currently doing a rotation here in Florida. I am a member of the research subcommittee at the NeuroEquity team and of the Public Relations Committee. I am also the program coordinator for the Wellness and Student Lives Committee at AMSA, at the American Medical Student Association. Anyways, what else? That's it.
Wonderful, good to see you. We have some new names here. I see there is somebody from Oshner on.
Hey, that's me. Sorry, I've been trying to change my name, but I'm not trying to do it over the phone. My name is Daimler. I'm from University of Queensland, Oshner Medical School, I think, along with Victoria as well. I am a fourth year medical student, but we have a slightly different timeline. So I have a little bit more time before residency starts up. I'm on the healthcare policy subcommittee with Phil as well. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to join in and see what all was going on at this meeting.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Victoria?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm Victoria. I'm, like Daimler was saying, I am an MS4 at UQ Oshner. I'm in New Orleans right now, and I have a bit of time before I start residency. I'm also a president of our sign chapter, and I'm one of the subcommittee leaders for the education section. Sorry, it's been a long day.
Good to see you, Victoria. And I hope I pronounced this correctly. Saikaran? Last name Vasa? Give you, okay. And then I think last one, Dominique Cooper. If you feel comfortable, oh yeah, there you go. Hey.
What all are we saying? I'm sorry.
sorry, I was muted. Name, where you are in your training, your location, and if you have a leadership role in NeuroEquity or sign at your school, or kind of anything.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Dominique. I'm a third year at UT Southwestern. For leadership roles, I was on the sign committee my first year. I was our shadowing co-chair. And then I also was in SNMA. I was our chapter president for that my first year through second year. Yeah.
Awesome. Good to see you. Texas. I'm at UT. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did we get to Hassan?
Yeah, I already went.
Yes.
Okay, my apologies. Then I think Sai Corinne also was about to unmute themselves. Are you here?
Hello.
Hi. Do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
I'm from India. I'm just still a medical student. I'm just curious about this is important.
So we're having a little bit of trouble hearing you. If you want to maybe type in all that information in the chat so we can, get to know you and become acquainted.
Okay. I think that'll be best if you're able to type it in. Oh, I think they ended up, they're back. But if you're able to type it in, Roxana, that was a great suggestion. Then we can introduce. It sounded like maybe the connection wasn't that great. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just for what kind of is on the agenda for today. Let's see. So today we're going to give some updates with some various projects we've been working on. But just some general updates. Roxana and I have been working behind the scenes, y'all. Lots of people, I mean, everybody's been working so hard behind the scenes. But lots of meetings with lots of different organizations, some new organizations and new partnerships we have, we'll get into a little bit more here. But just updates on our membership. So our email list is now, I think, around 160 people. And then our Slack channel, if y'all aren't on Slack, I'll put a link in throughout this meeting sometime to join our Slack channel. We have 92 people on the Slack channel, 12 different time zones. So that's really exciting. And we're trying to get more data eventually on, exactly where our membership is and what those demographics look like. So that's something to look forward to hearing more about. But in regards to some new partnerships, so Roxana and I have been doing some meetings along with some of the other subcommittee leaders, met with Women in Neuroscience group. Their name previously, so they just became the Women in Neuroscience group. Roxana, do you know their name previously?
Yeah, so previously they were called the Neuroscience Studies Foundation.
Yes, and
that's run by Judy Noodleman. Yeah, you can go ahead and tell them more about it.
Just a little bit about this group. So this is kind of like an internship research program for young women, and it starts in high school. And women interested in neuroscience, these young women interested in neuroscience, it gets them into research labs here at UT Austin. And they go through a pretty great internship program over the summer with a ton of wonderful speakers. And it's a really empowering program. And it kind of is training them to be, pioneers within neurosciences. And so I was able to speak with them not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, with the high school interns, just about kind of NeuroEquity, how they can get involved. And a lot of them ended up signing up for our mentorship program. And so I would say about half the group is med school minded and the other half is kind of like graduate school PhD minded. But they're very open to everything within neurosciences and especially neuroequity. And they're doing some incredible research. So if you're interested, and you'll hear more about the mentorship program in a little bit, but if you're interested in learning more about this partnership, go ahead and shoot Roxana and I an email, and you'll see our email is right there, theneuroequity@gmail.com. We also met with, last month, the Child Neurology Society and professors of child neurology. And so we hate to admit it, but when this group started, you know, it was kind of adult neuro focused. I know in my training, I didn't get much child neurology. And I think that's the case for a lot of med students. And so when the opportunity arose to connect with them, we jumped at it. And so if you are particularly interested in working with Child Neurology Society, professors of child neurology in any capacity, so they're doing a lot of projects and programs around equity in neurology. And you want to try to see how NeuroEquity can add benefit, or how you can add some benefit to those projects, or if you have a project idea of your own that you think could benefit from having this partnership, then definitely reach out to, again, Roxana and I at that email. I have a bunch of people who have shot me emails saying, you know, I'm interested in child neurology, I'm interested in child neurology. So if that's something that interests you, or you think it might, or you have an idea, go ahead and reach out to Roxana and I. Something kind of really big that I think came from this meeting was with the professors of child neurology. Tess, who's unfortunately unable to be here today, but we will hear about the residency wish list article. She was able to present all the work that the education subcommittee has been doing with that residency wish list article to the professors of child neurology, like the head of the professors of child neurology, to hopefully bring this curriculum that we're proposing to child neurology residency programs. So that's really, really exciting news. So again, if you're interested in working with any of these new partnerships that we have, go ahead and reach out to us at that email. And now I'm going to hand it over to Laurel, and she's going to talk a bit about the NeuroEquity Mentorship Program, it's moving. So Laurel.
Yeah, so some point over the holidays, we teamed up with the awesome PR team, and they helped us spread the word about our upcoming mentorship program. Since we put out a sign-up link, we've had about 9 mentees sign up. Some of them are from the Women in Neuroscience program, so it's really exciting to continue to work with them. And then we have some others that I guess have followed us and are interested in getting some med student mentors and getting more involved in neuroequity. Some of those are high schoolers and others are postbacks. We have like a really wide range of mentees looking for a mentor. So far we've matched 6 out of the 9, and we're still looking for mentors for 3 of them. And what we're trying to do is find, when we had the mentees sign up, we had them list specific things that they were looking for. A mentor, some of that was shared experiences, or maybe specifically grad school experience and some stuff like that. And so we've been trying to find so far really good matches for our mentees. And so we're continuing to look for a couple, but so far we're moving forward with those 6, and we're hoping to finalize the matches and get people officially paired up and connected this weekend, which is really exciting.
Yeah, super exciting. There's so much hard work that went on behind the scenes for that to kick off. And Laurel, you've been great. And if y'all are interested in helping with this, I know we're going to need more hands on deck, especially when we're sending the mentees and mentors materials for their check-in meetings. And if you're passionate about mentorship, it's one of my passions for sure. I wouldn't be here without the various mentors I've had in my life. Then reach out to Laurel, and the mentorship NeuroEquity email is listed right here as well.
Yeah, we're hoping to share some resources with the pairs to help facilitate communication and have discussion topics and really help our mentors be like good, lasting mentors and have some close relationships from these pairs. So if you have any resources or if you have a passion for mentorship, let me know. I'd love to have you guys involved.
Wonderful. Thank you, Laurel. And then I'm going to kick it over to Roxana and Victoria. If y'all want to talk about the residency wish list article and kind of the status there. I know y'all are at the end or towards the end of it. Or go ahead and let us know what's going on.
Yeah, so this is something that I want to say 7 or 8 of us have been working on through the education subcommittee. I can talk a little bit about it, and then if Victoria has anything else she wants to add, please feel free. And so this is essentially a quote unquote wish list of demands that we want our residency programs to incorporate in their curriculums. And so this ranges from training and more implemented use of telemedicine to reach maybe more marginalized communities, to global health and learning more about immigrant populations, to the relationships between hospital donors and that VIP access that they might get from those donations. And it runs the gamut. So we kind of have several groups. Research is also a part of it. So like research in rare diseases and having more diversity in those kinds of work. And so this dedicated team has been working, gosh, I think since we basically started, I want to say September, October. We are near the end of our project. So we have our, let's say quasi-final draft. We've got it, we've got great mentors that have looked at it. One of them is Dr. Posas, who's heavily involved. He's basically the advisor of the education subcommittee, as well as Dr. Rosendale from UCSF. They've given great feedback, and we've been connected and directed to one of the journals in neurology, particularly the residency section of it. And so we're hoping to submit that sometime either probably beginning of February. And I can say that I'm just terribly proud of this. I think that there's a lot of things, really great things in there that the group has even just exposed me to new ideas. And I think that this has gotten a lot of attention whenever we talk to other groups, whether it be the AAN or even the Child Neurology Society, as Diana had mentioned. They really want to know about this. And even I think there's a new residency program going on at neurology at Dow Medical School, and the guy in charge reached out and said, I want to know what's on this article. I want to know, before if he asked permission before you even publish it. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, they want to build their residency with these items in mind. They want to be equity focused as they build this residency. And so it was so amazing to be able to be like, look at these wonderful people that I know from this group and look at all the work they've done, and bring that to one of my professors who's starting a new residency program. So that was incredible.
I think it
super
just goes to
proud.
show the kind of impact that we can have already in this early stage of our training, and our ideas will shape not only our future education, but those that come after us. And even again with the Child Neurology Society and professors of child neurology, they wanted to hear what we had to say about including equity in their training. I mean, it even goes beyond residency. And so I know I spoke at great length to that, and I just want to leave some time for Victoria to also comment if she has anything she wants to add to that.
You covered it perfectly.
Well then, be on the lookout. We will be sending it to everybody once it's published. So it looks like the next item is the journal club, and so Galadoo can't be with us right now today, but he is in charge of journal club. We had our first journal club session. I want to say it was late December. I can't remember the exact date, but that is up on the YouTube channel, which we'll also send you the link to. And it was a very invigorating discussion, very insightful. Galadu he presented, did a phenomenal job on a paper regarding, it's essentially different types of surveys for assessing such subjective cognitive concerns and their relation to amyloid burden in the brain. We had a great discussion about the different uses of the surveys and whether they are validated in diverse patient populations, inclusion and everything within that. And so I would definitely recommend, if that's something that sparks your interest at all, go to our YouTube channel and take a look at that. We will be having our next journal club on February 17th. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's 6 p.m. Central, and then 4 p.m. Pacific. Sorry, it's been a long day. And so please join us for that. It will also be recorded. It'll also be put up on the YouTube channel. But if you're there in person, we can really engage in these wonderful discussions. I know that I walked away from that discussion having just a better sense of what's going on. We talked a lot about the definitions of race and how those definitions aren't great definitions and how they're not really defined in research, and how we can do better at that. And so, yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to take up everyone's time just on this, but as an MD PhD student, I think journal club and this kind of discussion is so invaluable. But maybe I'm just a little bit biased.
And if you're interested in leading a journal club, it's great experience. Number one. Number two, you can put it as a presentation on your resume, not trying to, or your CV. But we're looking for people to lead as well. Galadu led the first one. We unfortunately didn't have anybody to lead this month. Next month we have someone lined up, but these are monthly, and so pick a month and let us know, and we can go from there. And Jenny, I'm sorry, you were getting ready to say something?
Yeah, Roxana just cut off really quick when I was trying to hear the date of the journal club. Did you say it was the 17th of February?
Yes.
Okay.
February 17th. I believe it's a Wednesday, and that's at 7 p.m. We'll be sending out an email as well for that, and also be posted on the Slack channel, so you will get an email notification for that. But yeah, as Diana mentioned, for future dates, and we have all the dates kind of already, at least until March, I think we have that date set. There's a doodle poll. You can sign up on that doodle poll that we'll send out, or you can just email Galadu at the Research NeuroEquity Gmail.
Sounds good.
Okay, so with that, Victoria, do you want to talk about the Pursuing NeuroEquity campaign?
Sure. So the Pursuing NeuroEquity campaign, it's an interview series I'm working on. And the objective of it is to highlight providers who are doing the quote unquote neuroequity work. And these are providers who service underserved populations, who are very powerful, not powerful is not the right word, but are very loud patient advocates, the type of people that we want to be and we want to emulate. And these interviews would be about an hour, it'd be monthly. And what I need from everyone is recommendations for people to appear on this. Right now I have a working list. I'm also developing questions. Obviously, each question would be more tailored towards who's speaking that week. But if you're interested in helping me find speakers, in it being the person who interviews these professionals, or help me develop questions, you can just reach out to me at that email. It's a work in progress. We'll edit videos and put them on YouTube. And I'm actually quite excited about this project, but it's still in the beginning stages. So feel free to join on.
It's an incredible idea, an incredible project. It's, who's doing this work out in the community? Who are the clinicians doing this work? What are the best practices they use? Like Victoria's killing it. And then, so any help y'all can offer, if you're interested, hit up Victoria at the Education NeuroEquity. And then there's another piece of this, which is kind of, I added it right here. It's kind of like a listening tour. So the Chest Foundation, which is like poem stuff. I don't know, guys, I'm neuro minded, but lung stuff they do. They actually went around and did a listening tour at different communities around the United States, and it was all virtual, all through Zoom, where they were able to talk to patients on their experience regarding disparities that they faced through getting care for these different lung disorders. And so thinking of that, how can we interview patients with neurological disorders about the disparities they faced? And so there's a lot more that can go that goes into this, but kind of taking a look at what the Chest Foundation did for their patients, and they had providers on their patients providers on these calls as well. And how can we do this for neurology, both adult and child neurology, so we can get patient stories out there, and we can also see what patients need. So we have like physicians who are championing this work, but also thinking about, what are patients looking for as we become these future clinicians. And so doing interviews with patients, putting them on YouTube, it's kind of like the second piece to this wonderful project that Victoria is working on. I think it's going to be fantastic. I would love to see people sign up to work on this. But okay, let's go on to the NeuroEquity Advocacy Week. Phil and Stella.
Yeah, all right. And it's going to be Phil, Stella, and the newly included Dr. Abhishek Lungaria, which you guys have not met just yet. He cannot make it tonight, but we will check in with you guys at some point with him. But he has agreed to come on with us, and he has connections to neurology on the Hill as well. So he should be helping us with that for a little bit. So I think kind of similarly to the residency wish list and kind of the idea of bringing an established framework to the recognition of neurodisparities, Stella and I had thought it would be a great idea to do something like a week of programming where we discuss some of the more healthcare policy oriented aspects of what goes into like the current healthcare framework and how it affects disparities within neurology. We're currently planning on a few different events in conjunction with Victoria, who is continuing to kill it, in case you guys were wondering. And then, and also Danielle Reynolds, who is not here with us tonight, but she is currently helping with us as well. Current programming at this moment includes just a general history of neurodisparities and healthcare policies in the United States. It's going to include a resolution writing workshop, hopefully, if we can get that together. We're hoping to generate somewhat of a platform statement of sorts, just to say, what our stance would be, and just reflecting some of the other larger societies' views on addressing disparities and all that. And then a couple of other events that we're currently working on, just kind of to engage med students on specifically neurologically oriented and disparities oriented advocacy, and bring that to a broader scale. And our tentative date at this moment is the week of March 25th to April 2nd. So that'll give us a little time even before Neurology on the Hill, which will be coming up in the following weeks, to kind of apply some of that.
Wonderful. And are you looking for more hands to help?
We'll be meeting in the near future to discuss the logistics moving forward. And since it's the four of us, and I know Daimler's actually reached out, and I'll get back to you in a little bit. I'll apologize. It's GI exam week, but I'll be getting back to you. But we will definitely reach out if there's any more help that we can get for this.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we can send that to the whole email list in the Slack if y'all need us to. And then I don't think Laura, Fatima are here, but future project, y'all, if anybody, this goes out to people watching via YouTube as well. If anybody has experience with website creation or has an interest, kind of the next move for our presence is to get kind of a website going with more information, kind of a centralized location. We have the Twitter, we have the Instagram, we have the YouTube now, the YouTube channel. So we've been asked, so do you guys have a website? So that would be kind of the next step for us. So if anybody has an interest in working on this, let us know. Reach out to Laura and Fatima. They are on the PR team. They're the subcommittee leaders there, and the email address is right there. So now that we've given an update, and we're so on time, this feels great. But now that we've given updates, I wanted to open it up for a Q&A session. If anybody has any concerns, like leaders, if y'all have any questions, our newbies who are just joining us, any questions or concerns, let's use that time. We can use this time now to discuss them. And then also, I did get a question that came in about, let me see if I can pull up the chat, just about the leadership call for leaders that we had. So a while ago, we asked the existing leaders, you know, tell us what your role looks like and what you would like if you need more hands-on on deck for these projects, and kind of what you would be looking for. And so a bunch of the subcommittees said, well, we could use, you know, one more person, or we could use somebody who's good at this. And so we sent that out. We sent out a call for leaders, and we got some responses. And so while there hasn't been much movement after the responses, I know we have, I think, 12 people who have said they'd be interested in joining as a leader for some of the subcommittees. And so I'm not sure if anybody has any ideas on where we go next. If the current leaders want to take a peek at those responses in the next couple of weeks and get back to the individuals who are expressing interest, that might be a good start. I'm not sure. So let me know your thoughts there. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing as well. There we go. Priscilla, I see your hands up.
Yeah.
You don't have to raise your hand, y'all. Just cut me off. I'll talk forever.
So I was wondering, first, I want to congratulate you. I mean, you've done an amazing work. The team has done an amazing work, and I know like we're progressing as the NeuroEquity team. I was here since the beginning. I mean, in the first meeting since August, and it's awesome to see how the project is growing. So basically, I was wondering, what are you using to communicate with others? Because I am on Slack, but I don't see like many movement over there. And I've reached out several times to the research group, like, do you need an extra hand, and what can I help, and what new project can I be of use? And I haven't received any positive kind of feedback. And I'm just wondering, what are you using to like reach out and send communications, because I'm interested in being a part of it.
Yeah, understandable. So the idea is that we all use the Slack channel for communication. I know in practice right now it is not the case. I would say email. I know sometimes we have a hard time reaching the research subcommittee leaders. I know time zones are really hard. I also know we're all students and that can get crazy. And also we're in the middle of a pandemic, and in the US there was some political strife for a while. So I would say go ahead and reach out to the NeuroEquity Gmail, and let's see if we can facilitate a better discussion. And you know, bring us your ideas too. So you can bring it to the neuroequity@gmail.com, and we can kind of go from there. But yeah, so communication, we're still working on it, and open to any and all ideas, y'all. So if you have better ideas for how we can communicate with everyone, let us know.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
Any other questions or concerns? Y'all are great. First of all, I'm like, y'all know this started as a synapse message, right? Like, and do you see the work that you're doing already? Oh my gosh, I'm invigorated. I'm excited to be here and to be working with y'all. So, oh, I think there's a question that came up in the chat just now. So Sai Karan, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, asked, how can a student like me make the most out of this? I think if there's any projects that you see that you are interested in, contact the leader that's working on that project and see how you can help. Hey, I'm interested in this. I'm, able to help out. Let me know what you need. I think that's really the best way. And that goes for everybody else who's watching this, who might not be able to be in this meeting, is if you hear something you're interested in, or if you have your own idea. If you have an idea for a project and you're like, I think this would be great, shoot Roxana and I an email, or shoot the leaders of whatever specific subcommittee it may fall under an email, and just go from there. I think there's so much room to do literally anything you want. All of these projects were not projects that were pre-prescribed by Roxana and I. These were all things that y'all came up with and ran with. So if you're interested in anything that's happening, or you have ideas of your own, you'll have the floor to do it. And also with the new partnerships that we're gaining with the AAN, we're going to have so many more resources. And this meeting is being recorded and is going to be sent to our steering committee, who are prominent leaders within within neurology. And so they'll have connections, they'll have further connections as well to be able to help out with any projects. So, okay, Asia has a question.
It's just a quick question. I know earlier you were talking about kind of starting to have kind of a relationship or interaction with women in neuroscience. Are there any talks of kind of like maybe collaborating, having some sort of programming with them? Or, I know there's even some sort of kind of mentorship going on right now. So I guess my question is, like, in the future, will there be some sort of subcommittee for that, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, so this is a fairly new partnership. Right now, it is a mentorship relationship. So the young women who have signed up for our mentorship program, that's kind of where our partnership is. But there are opportunities to help with some of their I don't want to call them didactics. I'm like med school brain. They have presentations that they attend. So I spoke at one of their meetings, or being a part of a panel of speakers talking about your experience as a med student or as a graduate student, and kind of, telling your journey and kind of what research even that you're doing within neurosciences. So there are some opportunities outside of the mentorship. The most formal partnership we have right now with them is the mentorship piece, but they are open to anything we can provide for them. So if you have ideas, Asia, then we can bring them to Judy Noodleman, who is the leader of this wonderful program, and she'll be more than happy to listen and make it work.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Thank you. I just wanted to kind of like gauge, so far kind of what your interactions have been with them. So that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. And I just want to add, Diana had put it perfectly. They also have the Women in Neuroscience group. I think it's monthly meetings with the interns where they do a lot of this stuff, the mentoring, the presentations and whatnot. And Diana, as she mentioned, she talked at one of those meetings. And so that's a great avenue to start, get our foot in the door. If you do want to put something together as far as programming, that venue already exists. You don't really have to that part you don't have to create for yourself. You can create other opportunities and share that with them, but that already exists for you. So I want to get to some of the questions in the chat. So I think Sai Karan also asked, where can I see ongoing projects? And so again, that's something that we hope to accomplish with the website, where it's a centralized location. As of now, the projects that we talked about today are really the ones that are active and ongoing. And so, you know, also on the Slack channel, there might be calls for members to come and participate in their projects. So those are the current avenues, right? So this are our meeting updates, as well as the Slack channel and any emails that we send out. And then in the future, we hope to have a website where we can have active projects, as well as other projects that we have completed, such as, you know, the wish list article. Another question that came up was, do we have social media accounts? And if so, can we share them? And Jenny did a great job of sharing our handles. So our Instagram handle is NeuroEquity, plain and straight. And then our Twitter handle is neuro_equity. And so please follow us on either, on both. I have Twitter, I don't know how to use it, but I follow NeuroEquity, so at least I can see their updates. And we have a lot of different things, like, you know, we have our member highlights on Instagram, so you get to see all the different leaders and just kind of where they're coming from, their perspective on this. Journal Club, you know, we posted that. Diana and I had the honor of being on a neuro disparities panel with the AAN, and so, you know, that kind of information is also up on there. So definitely follow those. You can, you know, social media, I feel like, is where we get a lot of our information nowadays, and so I think that's where you can keep up to date with us as well.
Yeah, and I added in a link to both our Slack and our YouTube channel within the chat as well. So that's the Slack invite. And that'll expire. So if you copy it and you can't get into it right now, that'll expire, I think, in like 14 days or something. And then there's our YouTube channel with our one video from Journal Club up. It's an unedited video. So it's really just the whole Journal Club, kind of like this video will be, is just the whole meeting. But it was awesome. So if you have some time to spare, you could probably listen to it on, you know, 1.5 speed or something to save some time, but take a listen.
I also want to note, for those who are wondering, is there anything that we can be involved in, or is there any project that we can be involved in? Because I think a lot of, especially like the new members, are, you know, thinking of how to be involved in something that seems so daunting like this. I think kind of looking at where you're at, whether you're in med school, see if there is anything within your med school. Is there a signed chapter in your med school? Is there an inclusion and diversity task force at your school? Whether you're doing rotations, like, is there something like that at your particular institution that you're doing the rotation at? If you're like me, who's interviewing for a residency, is there anything like that that exists within the program? And then see if there's any way that they would like to be, either the faculty would like to be involved or any of the residents would like to be involved, because there are people who are actively working on things just at a smaller level, not on like a national level like how we're taking on, but there are people who are working on things on an institutional level. And I think a lot of us probably don't know that unless you kind of look around and ask and see, you know, what are people working on? So kind of putting yourself out there and seeing what is actually being done wherever you're at is going to be super, super helpful.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Jenny. I know, just like on my end, one of our deans, and he is also the vice chancellor of diversity and inclusion, and he's also the president of the New York State Neurological Society, and he also wears many different hats and has many different titles and does a lot of different things. His name is Dr. Etienne, if you guys are wondering. I've met with him, you know, more than once, and he's just offered bounteeless advice and guidance. I know that our wonderful healthcare policy group is also trying to get him to speak at their neurodiversity advocacy week, and so that's just one example of many. Diana can also talk about how we've connected with so many of these great partners at Dell just by her being there, and having all these connections. And so those are just some of the examples of how you can get looped in and come into the fold with these really powerful clinicians that are doing work or that have some sort of role, and then help make all this happen, both on a local and on a national level.
I second all of that. Thank you so much, Jenny, for bringing that up, that it really just starts where you are. That's excellent, excellent advice. And then last piece that I wanted to add before we hop off, we're right about at the end, and we're ending, y'all, on time. But Roxanne and I have been, asked to speak at a lot of different things, but we also have some great leaders that exist in our leadership team and in our group. So I think we might ask if y'all have some knowledge base, and if you guys have interest in being on some of these panels or speaking to the Women in Neuroscience group, or speaking with or being on a webinar for Sign, if they ask us to do that again, if that's something that you're interested in doing, to reach out to us, or we might send a survey of, hey leaders, there's a lot of opportunity and 2 of us, but also y'all are very valuable to this organization and leaders within it. So if that's something, just keep an eye out for that, because there's lots of opportunities that keep arising for some of these speaking engagements, and in talking to these different organizations. So keep an eye out for that. We would love to have y'all also do these things. Great for yourself, but great for your CV as well. And med school is, you gotta do some stuff and get yourself together for residency and all of that. But they've been great opportunities and great connection builders and networking opportunities as well. And also, there's only 2 of us, and some of y'all know I'm gonna have a baby in not too long. So I'm gonna be, out of reach for a little bit of time. So I would love for anybody who's interested to kind of take up that arena if they were interested in doing so. So, and Roxana's finishing her PhD. My goodness. So yeah, y'all are leaders, and if you would like more leadership responsibility, not that you're not already doing a lot, then let us know if that's something you're interested in. That's all I got, y'all. I'm not sure if there's anything that was left unsaid.
If you guys have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to email us at theneuroequity@gmail.com. Deanna and I were checking that regularly. Slack also, there's lots of ways to get in contact with us, so just feel free to reach out. But I think that's it. Thank you for joining us. Happy we're in 2021. We're going, we're going strong. So we will see you all maybe sooner than next month, but hopefully also at our next meeting.
Bye,
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank y'all. Take it easy, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.